Enyume no siabo ewo Adom TV so ebraso sense mhodo ayaboa no the edition editi ye kenkan de ma o say enyume no sia kase wo kase yi mu ensem bia wo bete ene say achiame hino omra shebedwefie Alban Baben e de atodwase na ninyi ho so wo si ni gina ye na wo dan ne ho ape achiame hina be de echa wo dikan asesa no enum nchemu ye de bedan wo ewo kase yi emu afa UNICEF hrese ebeya an company fo fan hyehye bi emra se beya won mu a etonton milk enkranom ewo abefo kwan so no obetimi abra ne nyina eno nso munchemu ye de bedan wo ewo kase yi emu ye beko nkwanta north mensirimu woti mantemu na nsem hodo a empanifo ahwa pomde ho nsem so eka edefa wo mu a edwane ewo mensiri ne mu nso ye de munchemu ebedan wo ewo kase yi emu nsem wei eka ho a edwadie apomden agokansie mu nsem ye de bedan wo se anwumre no nsia kase ewo Adom TV so midin e de akuya echa oyi akwan emu ajo afeyenhye ensem no asese omanfo beka ye betodwa sa akronfo bi kototutuo ebo billion van be mekowi ase yetemamofo miensa wonu mu prepare asese woda kolibo abaya resabia eje ayareshe ene Adom kase esa kohwe sede enema esitie ewo ho omanfo edeto yanim se ebeye ankaposi adwuma ekuo no emeyire bambo mu kete ewo industrial area sebeye akronobo ye ekoso eto betwa
baby amegine eye industrial area Wana to heading say Kasejan. Aha, any enyan intie say akranfo yemfo bi edi bullion van echi se wo mo ebeji musika nanso entimi amaso. Me twamfo ni akyerem a mfidi a egu hei eye mfidi a wokopie mu ewo habo a wo mo ede sisa enema ewo. Choba so ena wo menchen pei. Banks ahodo ewo ha. A omanfo edi omudwumadi bebre na ewo ha. Wo mo kire se etuotutuo ekoso ewo kwan yi so ye ne omanfo ewo ha etwetwe nkomo
omo prayer mi hu omo na ye nipa miensa baako prayer na ha ena baako mekoto ja ase ena baako so na nan ena prayer me kwa na mi didi o ena eti se ade ende pay ena mi ka sa na knockout beli ndi ye hu ya na ade ende pay na obi e dwane ena ye so ye dwane ye na me ba no ko da container emu ena me se me ko fa no na ya dwane nti me fan no na omadu ha omo ade ne pepepe na ade ne peti nti na me ni choice bia nti me sa ko share container no e back nti e wana police ni no e ma one shot e na omo dane omo ho wa nti me te ha na me show omo dane omo ho wa ya na omo sa omo chiko be bullet ni bi e na koto ya glass no be ampra obia
sisi ano ne aye kan say this is not the first time esi etesi wo lane wo eso pa ama mmere bi kura on be ye say police ayi bi wo down ho Kasejan opposite ho na nsan ye hu omo biom sa robbery we in fact ye hu bi we rada matna 20 years ye hu bi da
eti industrial area and I robber some papa mmere bi that's the last 2 years royal ayi motor ayi for no I robber sa we I am be fire and I police for change so man to no this kind of journey and at the same time no e be happy biom. Indeed, the best way somebody say family a free runabout family kono. So we see police barrier towards TV Africa hono. See TV police station barrier bi wo a be better.
Made the Prince Owusu Esiedu. Amane boy made free industrial area and amade airbrel.
Yankwa adanse praso ye no ewo adanse south mensirimu asante mantemu esanse bonifo masori wo hontie na posi eduma eko no etwese wonu mu a edibone wo hoje omanfo ne ma ekunkumbe no wo beti wo nyina so atua Wodi wani kyeremu ewo adanse praso adanse south mensimu wo asante mantam a omanfo te adanse praso wono mu de sesi a wote ayamhyehyemu esanse enipakuo bi ahyase edidi bone ahodo wo hono ama timamufuo yi bebre na ekasetia Adom kase ebo anan ekoposi commander owo hono Francis Aka ene ni kodi sansemi hu nkomo na ntwemu bia wodi tu dwane se nipa bonefo a wo hono mu yi bebre na eye wona wonum no bone bebre na enso eye
wana wo wian kofo sika efa abefo ntentan so bebre nanso ne nama na nsekan ani atu ehyehye won ho a timamufo wo honom ene wo tete wona brabo ne nyina mu no wahwe se posi adwumayefo no bechi nipa ni bia sesi ada wode omo akopie mu asante bekwai ene new adubiase ase ni bia omu nada wo twen se obedi omo asem
membru no na edu baby no de emana hyo musem bia obi ena manadwo no makotake no ntie ama dasek emiti ana yede ebambo egu akwam nkofo me yasa no yetumi etwom ama yede bi ekọ court awo bekwai abebe na yedu omo asem bekwai enti no principal di omo na esifom ama nkofo omo di insansem no am ye etwom ebi so wo new yede bi ase court na esi ano ama sa tutu asem na wo adase praso no sisi ama na bafom
DC Ohonum Francis Ankoma edeka ho se empuntu ebeba honum de a ene na sa nipa bonefo sam a ekoso hoi ezese wotu ase
empuntu ebekọ baabia yehwe ade ba akotitiro eye asomdwe na nse yeka asomdwe ho asam wo mansimu ba yeyi praso efiri se ene ma bia na nse na mabunu no eye no na enya ahumka yebesramu yebekọ modin se yebeye yafamu die se die mu nyina mu nim no ye ya posifo ene na nanom aboa aye yafamu die nanso so enye no nko a obia wo paso ha ana obia wo mansimu ha bia no eye wasade se obeboa ama asomdwe aye dai aba
na najman pensan a wotoso mienu eye adanse praso hene wono de a woka fa ensemi ho ene se
DC wone na bambofo commander woma ya ma enra kra chiche nkwala ni bi edu omo kokot ene eti kromu ya de ye ne fata bia yati committee a womo ward committee a womo be yen kure eti ni nyina ne be ne aboni nyina ne ya ba man hu ban
yanto ansam no so e wo man yi yemra hyebedwafie na chiame hino omra hyebedwafie ene Alban Kingsford Sumana Backben ene ne nsam a wode atodwa ene se wotimi si ginaye e wo mra hyebedwafie e ma obi agetum kama nanso obrechi ye pa ba bi fa ya na chiame hina be de atwa wodi kan ye Orajo Wise wakwa kwasesa bibia ne senti sa niema na ekoso ewo emrahye wo no enya dia na bojoso emrahye Alban Kingsford Sumana Backben ekasa eno di tu dwase di achame hina be di acha wodi kan ya wono anso ena ye emrahye bedwani ewo bekwai abato mpesua so Joseph Osewusu eyeye no eyadia etia mara na eni emrahye bedwafo emre mu baabia ada se achame hine esi ni ginaye na oba betena na namu abo ato agu ode sanse mu etuja wabra Adom kuma mrahye eni abre ewo mrahye se di aban ede COVID-19 sika ebeduro mamu eyeye no omesese enkyere wo mu ensem a wodi tudwa enie
the penchant of the first of this speaker to overrule my rulings is, to say the least, unconstitutional, illegal and offensive. Be that as it may, I shall not be taking any steps to overrule the decision of the first deputy speaker to dismiss the motion as moved by the honorable ranking member of the finance committee. The deputy speakers and I will deliberate on how to present a more coherent and uniform structure in respect of rulings so that the House is guided at all times during deliberations. Our standing orders provide the procedure for challenging the rulings of the chair, and those aggrieved by the rulings may take the necessary steps. The proposals of the private members' motion may thus be guided by the standing orders of the House to right the wrong.
Enwechi obomoden so bekyerɛkyerɛ di achiame hina be di etire Joseph Osewusu eyeye ewo mrahye no ase.
To allow such an objection to be raised after the motion has been seconded. The purpose of the objection to the motion is to prevent the House from discussing or considering the motion. The objection goes to the root of the matter being tabled either because it is considered irrelevant, contentious, or unprofitable, or therefore any reason is thought to be advisable to debate. It's not thought to be advisable to debate the matter.
Yegusuaye wo man yimra shebedwafie na oswafo wo no ene hwe fisam so ene owura Ambrose Dairy na bra wo mra shebedwafie a wo yi COVID-19 ho nsam no ano ene wode tu dwa se eye pa se ehia wodo a ewo man Ghana mu de ye betotomu na COVID-19 nti na wototo sa hye mu se be ye omanfo betimi abo ho ba na so sei de wo hwe ebiman awodo kuwa asori wo mu a ehu behia se betimi abo ehia wodo so eban no bia amfa mentimo wase bia amira Ghana mu wo abedwafie ne no ebra empanyimfo bi edin sembisa ema wo sofo a wo hwe afisam so Ambrose Dairy efa said de Ghana aban atoto ahyem emre bebre ni aban pese obebie Ghana ahye no osofo yi ensem na no sekane no na aban ewo ni timu ponti a wodidi se adwuma no nanso ne idi empanyimfo atena se ehune se eba aban ntum a ekoso ewo abibiman mu hanom a eya dos ne senti ahobambo ho nsem nti na ama aban agusuada atoto Ghana ahyem a wo mieye no.
The situation of border towns was carefully and strictly analyzed. And that's what I talked to you, just like the situation that you are explaining in Aflawo. The fact still remains that a certain minimal activity continues. Farming on both sides of borders is a known fact. I can see you laugh, we know it. And of course, schooling, we do know that it's also a kind of existing. In fact, we take these things into consideration, and we especially directed that the COVID vaccines be directed at those communities because they are most vulnerable as far as this is concerned.
Wakasa wiye ena emrashibdwani a owoketu south eye jifa gomashi edin sembisa ema oswafo Ambrose Dairy say wo bisa ne senti enkopem da ben ena Ghana ban ebebiebie ahye ewo Ghana ni titiru ene Aflawo ahye no.
Honorable Minister, the unique nature of the Aflawo border is well captured in the law of literature. This border has a community that tells straight into the capital town of another country. So in its unique nature, it positions itself as really the only access to the economic empowerment of the community. The intervention that we just made reference to.
Old Bakanta Kroba ko ewo lembelemen sinimu ewo atoye mantemu omanfo wo ekyerese se dwade betimi akoso agese kwan ya wonam so no eye nanso won kwan de atete apansam wodi adesede eto aban ene mpanifo anim sada Roma wontwa woni no meboa wo mo omanfo a omo ewo Old Bankata ye no ewo lembelemen sinimu ewo atoye mantemu e de atodwase efrimre tenten ena otukwan ewo kwan a enyeyi eso ochese enyumeku ahodo akese ewo man Ghana mu enkankan ene wo mo a eye fango ho adwuma etese eni oil won masase ohamu chichemu adu wotwe ene wode ye adwuma nanso enya de wotimi aboa ayekwan yi ede ama wo mo ochese isane kwan nya enyenti agese suku mofra ene won mo etukwan etwa ensuo ansa no akwa koduru bia woko so wopese wokofa kan so a agese otwa kwansini nan ansa no akoduru ba bia ka ewo ne senti wade so dia wode to aban ene fango adwumeku ahodo yi enim ene se adaroma wo mu wase be ya won kwan yi obetimi aye
kwan de never sen kan by kwan de enye because if you tell a kuba kono so e ba say no ka be say 7 times omo piam say no rejuya ite kwan de ase se wi e gbo krapo ha de ntimi ma se bi nso to kakra na yan wato se be sin pin fo say omo hwe omo nya kwan yi man
e ben sa ha be na de bro
e ben sa otimi say se ka nyu mo otimi say coach ene e bibia
Ekwan de na kwal yesa papa bibia ihia ese yekwan de ihia papa nti momodin ya bre nti ekwan de mwanya amaye dia yakoba bia ya bre papa abofo bi mpo yare mpo na se ko hospital yenya ka moto mpo ofro bia mba wo se ekwan nyanti ontumi ma
ya ma no yakogua ya ho kire ekwan so nye obi mpo yare mpo na de ko hospital o ye problem mai nti wo mo hwe na mo nye kwan mai yakogua yenya kar mpo mfa yenko ya to nam a yenya car nam da kwan nyenti yenya car ebetumi aso nam afiri akọ sanzure ti ya ho kire papa
eno echi eno hina owo old bakanta na naka nyunza ya otoso miensa eni adom kase etwetwe enkomana ni nsem a wode tudwa enie
hen ya de sredi oda bananim oni de wonye ye kwane from sanzure modunsu do na mo old bakanta wonye modunsu do ebutu ya to boat ato ha na etumi ya ye school mo fama koyin na wotwa nsu no akọ area primary school no ha na GHS no wonu bakanta ntide bia yetwa nsu no ekọ na se ya ye kwan ye ya ebutumi ye ono ba bua yam ya atena ha
enwumere no si akase na oguso a wo hwe na nso meton create wa ba mesro tweme bekoba ebetwaso Amesa mu akwa babiem enase se wanya abotra twemo meka wo se kase ye twegu live ewo Facebook, YouTube and Instagram se Adom TV, TikTok ye wo ho kona kodi echi wo ho comment like na share ema afofro nso enya bi yentwa yensem no eso MPP amanyoko na chitafo bia e watakrade ayensem twefo nhyiamu na wonsem a wo kan ene se empanifo ama wo ho kwan se nko betimi akọ party office obibi opedibre e wa amanyoko ni betimi akọ akọfa form CB na nso takrade constituency office de wokọ ho no mo e kamia ye se boapayo ena empanifo no ye won pese form si obeje mu kura ma wo mo amu akọfa biato
MPP echitafo a watakrade abato mpesua so ensema wade tudwa enese esanse empanyimfo ahyase eton enkrata ebeboa amanyokoi echitafo bi amadachi wetimi enye dibre ewo amanyokoi nim no wona wonni tumi ewo amanyokoi nim bebre na ekona so kwaje krata ibia wonfama wo mu David Asante ena echitafo ewodi wonanim entwemu a wade tudwa ne se
the purpose of this invitation is to address you on the systematic scheming strategy to deny legitimate party people access to the polling station forms in the party constituency. This strategy is being engineered by members of the polling station election committee and some principal officers in our constituency. The following are the officers and members of the polling station election committee that have deliberately decided to deny core party people in the constituency access to polling station election forms. First on the list is Honorable Assam Mensa, who happens to be the polling station election committee chairman. Next, Prince Arthur, our constituency chairman. Next on the list is Mr. Kingsley Ojo, our constituency secretary. And as I'm speaking now, he is the main focal point. The report we are getting is we are being denied of the party contest or polling agent forms. So nextly, we have Mr. Jerry Fenn, who happens to be the acting constituency election officer, and also Maxwell Justice Aqua, who is the constituency second vice chairman and IT personnel on the committee. Last but not the least, the MP and regional minister, Mr. Kobe Ochedaku Mensa. Surprisingly and unconventionally, this polling station election committee have adopted a procedure which contravenes the national party guidelines concerning the polling station election.
Richard Arthur adodona enim ni din se Uncle Bona ede a wokan ye ene se ensem a MPP echitafo eken no kre biara eni ne senti obi biara obete sa asem no wo mu nani enwu so.
From Saturday up to now, in Dinabia forms. What we started there, one of our old police station executives in. I'm on proud, don't make what first. After that, from Sunday up to now, Ubiano ye design forms. And the Abercrombie around this time, no forms, Ubiano Bob form Yala.
Sound so and amanyoko na chitaphobia e was Velugu abato mpesuaso ye no ewo atifido mantemu enso echwese e wonso woko hono mu a e kamia ese forms yemfa bi ma okra e na wakwakopa bi e de wudin atoso de senti wonum susu se e bia obi eyam hyehye no se bia okwa abato so no wadi nkunim enu nti e na mpanifo wo mantemu no mu e hyeda e yesa
MPP amanyoko na chitaifo a wonum ewo Savlugu agidi se esan se empanyinfo a wonum eda amanyoko na no ewo mantam honom no wonum enim se empanyinfo a wonum eda amanyoko na no sesei ewo empesua no so honom no ba se wonum eto aba wontumi enimu nkunimu nti na ama wonum asisa aginaye no Kane communications officer no oda amanyoko na no ewo empesua no so Idris Nurudin ene samtrofo twetwe nkomo ewo Savlugu no na wo kire mu se
The information on the ground is that some incumbent executives have been making statements to the effect that there wasn't going to be any elections in the constituency, and they would be used in both the regional and national executive elections. This is a common knowledge available to everyone on the ground. This affirms a statement made by the regional executive member to the effect that they were going to protect the current crop of executives in the constituency. Why does one need to protect someone whose first winning you had no hands in? The fear that grips the incumbent executives is understandable, ladies and gentlemen, but it is also self-inflicted. They have spent money for polling station agents in the 2 previous elections.
Sure.
They are aware this has marred the cordial relationship that existed between them, and they will be held accountable through the ballot box when the time comes.
Pendiana Abubakar Yakubu Council of Elders no ekuba na ono so editu dwa se ne nam so ema wonom etwen empesua no esensen ye no enya de wonim hu bibia ne senti wode ato National Executive Committee no animu se wonsesa wadwene emfiri se agina ya wasie no se ne be ya daachi bi no enkofa menteme ho ase Emma Empotemu Honom.
Bibi Chaga Kayet del Maha, Kasher Committee no milk of Galante. The Matamim tense Martin. I have been voting now, been paid the chance of Martin Million Janet and Isham. Been paid the chance, my Bibi non Karatik young Carpan young, the non Mustafana Kara, to me jelly. This was good out now, I wouldn't tell them. So good to a pin up now.
Yeguswaye wa MPP amanyoko no ensensem emu na Tertiary Education Students Confederacy ya yetwa ne tiase tescon eya MPP amanyoko no eku ahodo awo ewosuapon emu ewo man Ghana mu na wonsem a wode tudwa ewo otimantemu ene se wo hia kade ye beboa wo mu wo nhyiemudie pa MPP amanyoko no pese enwotwe no obubo no no wokọ ne dumie no so de a gese wo ma wonum akade. Tertiary Education Students Confederacy ya yetwa ne tiase tescon ewo MPP amanyoko nim aye wonum enhyiemudi a wode epa won panimfo fofora wo bayi wonum ehontoma ewo nyankpala Isaac Nkrumah ya wono ene ye otimantemu tescon coordinator ene adom kase etwetwe nkomo ene odi tu dwase ehu behia se MPP amanyoko nim panimfo ebetwa wani ahye eko enkutu ese bayi a obema wonum akade no watimi ede aye wonhyiemudie eno kranso danchen a ewo sempanimfo hwe na wonum a ede won hodom tescon ya wo befiri school mu apie no woboa se bayi a obetimi enya adwuma ene scholarship CB ede atoa wonum adesua so.
It's the rule of testing. I didn't add to a conference. So it's breaking the 8. In fact, this way, Benny and Yama be brave. To say pick up, I remember around sending all the Yama to say logistics, t-shirts, first student to me t-shirts, no much winning. I am from better about I'm a party. The best in ya, Bana Sivesa in ya, some approximates. I had a research to say sample size no question as Miss Anna Manu. In fact, this one is the intellectual eye of the party. Again, and research my party near Trump said the airport. You bring up breaking the 8, you bring a lot of logistics. I anything for Casa, the Musu Casa say, I'm why and Yana didn't break his eye.
Say Jumedi Dambai College of Education and wode ekwahye so a MPP amanyoko mu mpanimfo ya Dr. Miyo Kunfi eka ho bie ebpm ewase mantem ne mabuno dom frefo edema MPP amanyoko no David Nkabunam ene adom kase etwetwe nkomo ene wode tu dwase sabre ye bra ewo se esukufo ka won ho bom no obonto emu oden edema MPP amanyoko no
MPP bet me abricate now. Role bear and I see test into me and play na into me and no I'm not agree and I in my other. You say you has a test on tertiary or do my be or swim never be free. Or more kasa, bet me kasa any information bet me up on home we are not on ash or bet me on home now.
Joshua Makubu and a ye would timantemu swafo no so edi in some would be to Tescon Ekoyi enim.
We make a Tescon for the same.
Bible can say, remember your creator in the days of your youth. So you're fighting Nipa and that's why you're Mabu at a technical level. So we do one day when you answer with 2 million better fighting and one no me. Now, can someone who say Nipa be Abema examples? Me and me to be a member of TESCOM from World Polytechnic to KUST.
And so I am some no so or maybe I ever cosua etu huache ejuma eyade ehia pa broni be friend volunteerism na nei asoya ono ene hwe emebuno ene agukansie so enam National Youth Authority no eso a wo bodawuro se be ya wo manfo ebeti ase ne sente ne wonum apa dwumade bi hontuma wato ne din National Youth Volunteer Program e hontuma wo hye emebuno no kutupa se be ya wo de wo ho besi wonum aye adwumaden.
Empanyimfo ehwe se wo Ghana hanom emebunu bebre na ebenya etuhuacha honhom na watimi aye adwuma edi mpunto ebebre Ghana nyina. National Youth Authority akopedwumade hontuma wato ne din se National Youth Volunteer Program oswafo a ohwe emebunu ene agudie honsem so Mustafa Yusuf edi tu da se eba impunto ewo man biara mu etuhuacha honhom ewo mu pa. National Youth Authority for ebuse emebunu awondodo eye empem wo ha ena se adwumade obetimede wo ho ahye mu bi.
Strongly believe that this program will be the engine to drive Ghana forward. This program will have a significant impact on our nation, and it will be instrumental in Ghana advancement. I'm happy to note that the National Youth Volunteer Program has so many models from which to choose from. I encourage the youth to fully participate and take advantage of the numerous opportunities that these programs offers.
Pius Enam Hajide Enawaye, Chief Executive Officer at our National Youth Authority, and Sama Wakanye Ini.
Over the next 5 years, some 100,000 young Ghanaians are expected to be recruited onto the 13 and counting modules of the program. This country stands at the crossroads where we are invited to redefine who we are and what we stand for. It's a shame that on a yearly basis, volunteers come from outside of our jurisdiction and they are prepared and willing to serve our dear brothers and sisters in some remote areas. But even when national service knocks and we are invited to serve in some parts of the country, the story of the Ghanaian youth is different.
Apomode kwanche for one Kwanta North mensini mu ewoti mantemu ene Mamadu Aziz ene nsemu a wodi atodwa ene se ohwese de ahensemu asori pa ewo mensini mu a sesei pamu apomode adwumayefo nyina efri mensini mu de adesade ebeto nananoma ahemfo anim se ntawantawa bi a eda wo montem no won siesie se peyi a adwumayefo yi ba wani ebeka. Kwanta North mensini na apomode kwanche for ene Mamadu Aziz na nsemu a wodi atodwa ene se isa na hinsemu a asori ye de ntokwasem eba mensini ne munti apomde adwumayefo nyina edwane e de free mensini no emu ochese wonum ekonso de a na chese apomde enomanfo entimi enya ne yie ode sansem wetu je wabra wonum de afebi adwumade a woye ede bunkunta e wapomde ho e kire manfo e hihye so e wo kpasa.
High attrition of house staffs. A lot of the house staffs want to leave the district just because of lack of motivation, chieftaincy issues, and also lack of facilities or amenities. And this is also affecting health service delivery. There are plans to increase or to scale up the chiefs implementation. If we have only few staffs who are wanting the facilities and they want to go, it will be very difficult for us to also scale up the chiefs implementation in order to send the house services to the doorstep of their community.
In which Dr. John Fantujonon, Yawono Ewumo, Mensinimo Ewu Togo, Editu Justice say Ghana, any Togo, Kambo Mua, Wababuana one more, Etete Ghana, any Togo, Shia Suno Ebetimi Enya Pomodin. Which was Penny for the Shayego, Aquemua, Washe, so Bema, Ayarasabia Wodo Akadie, no man for Bahonumua, Otimi Ashawomo.
Some quack doctors, in village people just come and say that they are doctors that help us to crack down those quack doctors. Our collaboration also help us to contact Dolba, communication, in community at the border. And that helps us to improve our health system.
Na no si yepe na ban na musini owo brono no so William Nawuma Kedigan enso eni adom kase echiche enkomo na nsem wo kadeka ho enie
ahimful sam edi ehun eka o mai mamusu be this say me ni ahimful no esenku me mamuchi asese samudi aprepre eba o mai so ana se me ntuati wo aka me mentia me mo ase eba wo a esai o mai e ma no ma bi egu edurezi we know omu esinkuya ampo regional minister any regional committee ever ha any anfonesinkуя megusu enye da ko aiba na mbom no we were gite na reshomu sai by the grace of God nyina ebatu yi
ye gina sansem we so aton kretia wa ba ne yakoba wa pomudimu nsem no ye be hwe de UNICEF e kan edifa emofra duane a sese nipa binum eto ewa abefo ententan so ye kwaba sese Amemo akwaba ne monwura apomudimu ensem United Nations Children's Fund e twaniti ase UNICEF eye adwumayeko a emofra ya wo mo foforo wo mapomudimu hia wo mo pa won sam a wadi tudwa ene se woguso a wo bonufusuo ehun dawro edema ematan nanso enipa bi etonton milk ewo abefo kwan so a ema da wubo na wo ye no enkwa ni mo ne senti ebe yanka aban no emfa hyehyeye bi mra safo ni nyina obetimi abra wo dwumadie
Device Abaji Abalo, a nutrition officer at UNICEF, now one Adom Kasiama Nibuni Education Common, and what done a dear say, and she movie a one a year no afin pinu any dun sumono ebede say, a ma wow manufusu no say, a swat now what your home subone in a bo one more, or ton formula milky be, ninchirimu and say, Quaya Hodo, any ede kwanya sa adwumakuya hodo efa so edeton wono moniama no eto awofo asum ya ne sentino one person wodo no fusu nko a ebema wo ma no.
When it comes to the impact of advertisement of formula milk, on the impact it has on the breastfeeding, because it undermines the breastfeeding efforts we are making to support, promote exclusive breastfeeding, especially for the first 6 months of life. Ghana as a country, we've seen some decline rates in the exclusive breastfeeding from 56 in 2014 to 43 in 2017 using the multiple indicator cluster survey. It influences the decision of caregivers to practice or not to practice breastfeeding.
Already eto aso say esansa awofo bebre na no wonum enim apomudimu mfaso a woma no nufusu a obenya nti na ema wonom adwene ye won say sa formula milk no eyema enkola no apomuden.
Let me say misinformation, or because they don't have the right information to say that breastfeeding is the best. When you look at breastfeeding, it doesn't come at any cost. But when you are talking about formula milk, it comes with a cost. So I think caregivers probably subscribe to using infant milk because they don't have the right information and support.
Yemungra ejwadiemu ensemu Audit Service Ghana ena ye asoye a omanyi sikasam ewunsem nyina wo bunkonta sesen ede aban ede sika ye ewo manyi mu ena yi wapa afempenu ne aduonu baako ede no ehon toma a wo besase asesen efiri opepon bosuminim ekosi openim ade aban ede sika oba omanyi mu nyina ye na Auditor General ene Johnson akuamu asiedu ena ode to aban anim se ensema hodo won krata nim nyina aban hye no won fari nyina endi djuma.
Audit Service adwumayeko a Ghana hanom a woye nhwehwemu ewo sika dodo a aban ede ye mpuntunyuma ene meaya hodo asika ikohyehyeye no wapa won dwumadie ho ntoma a wode be ye nhwehwemu ewo aban sika a wode ye adwuma ewo afi apemienu ene aduonu baako mu dwumadie wato ne din se 2021 financial year audit na wobehwe se aban nnwuma hodo mu meaya hodo asika ekohyehyeye nyina no woba be ye nhwehwemu ebra mpanyimfo ehia nsentwofo a wopa dwumadie ho ntomen Auditor General edito nnwumako enum se sika biara abande amon se won fanye adwuma no won hwese se adwuma kro no ene odi sika no ebeye esan se woye won hwehwemu na adwumakuo bi edifo ewum a enya de se obema adwuma no akosa obema Ghana mra ene se adwumakuo no edi
I say ayi amanyuma anaba bi aban sika ko bia na fi bia ye hwehwemu na ye de ehun susan so no beto parliament anim ɛno ana yɛtoa so na mmom yɛhu sɛ kan no na yɛde yɛni kɔhyɛ expenditure no nkutoo nanso sɛ yɛni revenue a yɛntumi expend nti sɛ ɛhu sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde yɛni nso hwɛ revenue nea ɛba nea nkasɛ sɛ ba ɛne nea baayɛ ɛne deɛ baayɛ no ɔkwan yɛfaa so a yɛsan disperse yɛ ɛno ɛbɛyɛ yɛn ani so adi hu kɛseɛ ɛwɔ afei mu
afe wasan edito aban no mu se wɔyɛ wɔn hwehwɛmu ewie na nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ no ma wɔpɛ sɛ aban de yɛ adwuma na sɛ wɔtwerɛ ma ne aban a aban hwɛ sɛ san hyehyɛeɛ no obedi so esan sɛ no na ɛbɛboa Ghana
bien there as auditors yɛ recommendation as relevant entities no implement your recommendation a ɛhyɛ yɛ nigye. It can be frustrating sometimes say be a wakoma na e be a omo a we expect say nka so mo ye hu bibi no mo nyɛ nti ene stakeholders nye din kita ho sɛ omo ani bɛba yɛn audit report no ɛso ɛne nea enkoyi a yahu a yaka na ya momo adwen sɛ omo ye we a ɛbɛboa.
Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare eko dwumadie no asibi na wode to nsɛntwerɛfoɔ anim se sɛ deɛ ɔmo nyinada ahyia apasa dwumadie no ho ntoma no ɛkyerɛ sɛ aban we deɛ kɛtasehyɛ ne proyɛ anya ade a n'ani gye ho
aban introduce systems a ɛbɛboa na ate human intervention so ɛwɔ public financial management mu na ɛyɛ saa ɛbɛboa bebree ama kɛtasehyɛ ne proyɛ biara so ate aba fam ani bi ne ɛka sɛ sisi a yɛwɔ ghana.gov nti ukotua o taxes and now ye payment biya to abanya umfa kaneno na auditor general otimi infraction back on irregularity in the area of payment of usage of checks to make payments on taxes and then from 2021 you introduce Ghana.gov is a thing of the past.
Enyina sansem we so na ye hu tie wamra ye ba agokansie mu nsem ebeto aso.
Abusia yɛn to aso agodi nsɛm nsɛm ne tɔso deɛ sɛ fata sɛ ɔte anyimai ɛna yɛte bro kejwana kasa ne Eric Asie dubuari bɛhyɛ aseɛ deɛ fi Africa Games a ɛnkyɛ Ghana ye hostie 2023 ampaya ne dwana bebre na de ɔmadwenkyerɛ aba afa sa games yi ho sɛ Ghana we sisika wɔ mu ne ade ade a no na honorable sports minister Mustafa Yusuf ɛde anu ye amasa nkrofo no.
The African Games is all about bringing the youth of our continent together to exhibit their talents, promote Pan-Africanism among the upcoming generation, and create opportunity to develop friendship through sports. The exposure to other perspectives gained during socialization at the African Games makes participants, officials, and spectators more understanding and also tolerant to others' view and interests. The eventual impact on society is that people learn to peacefully coexist and resolve their differences more amicably rather than through violence means. It is for this reason and many more that the government of Ghana and indeed the forefathers of the continent of Africa deem it convenient to establish and support the organization of the African Games since 1965. The objective of the African Games are firstly to complement the United Nations plan of action to transform the world through the Agenda 2030 for sustainable development, and secondly to contribute to achieving the Africa Union Agenda 2063, the Africa.
Right, and only one semon, but by Yanko Pimu, what a Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence. At the Ghana Football Association, I am some Koso Honomo, na Mammy, one nation so, Mrs. Winifred Mawudeku, not in summer to just say, baby, and Yamaka Colombo anymore say, on bay and on my sissy hoka crescent say, as I check, now I'm a corner, some more replace in the idea, say, on by Sunny Mamupa.
We have been able to do a lot of refurbishment and maintenance work around here. We've been able to also expand some of the facilities that we have, the usage of the facilities. We had a number of classrooms that were not being used, which have been currently being converted into dormitories, so that it will help us have more intakes and do a lot more training programs. We have tried to open the facility up. We have built a beach soccer pitch which is still under construction, but it's good for the players to train if they don't have to go to the beach. And so a lot of activities have gone on within this short period, and we are looking forward to more. So currently, the contractor is yet to hand over the project to us. We know that he has almost finished. He's put the pipes and everything. We have to test it, and then he would hand it over to us. So I think in the next month or two, we will have the borehole water running. We already have a distillation plant.
SS Mawudeku na wade sansa mona to dwane the National Sports Authority na to ahweti mama clubs ahodo no say nche second round e be hyase e wo Ghanaian Premier League ni mo no obia mbie ni stadium mu na nkrofo mehwe first 25% no you see they are be mu pa
Ghana Premier League effecto so mienu no na wotwe wiye na teams ahodo no nyina se gina go pramaso a omodi be boni esanse covid ade no na no aye dene wo my Ghana mu han nti empenifo hye se achitafo aya amukwa ago pramaso no aha mu nchichemu aduonu numpe ene betumi akọ boboku ahodo agitu mu a no mu diso nanso ebra ye be hye second round na si National Sports Authority ko no asan babu mu a wo kire se sesede yade na akofom kakra nti wo gya chitafo no emfa ho no wa ago prama no eso nipadom no nyina betumi akwakwhye ho ma omba kwakotai boboku na chi eni nti asante kotoko ene has foka baba era sports stadium ene fi Accra sports stadium no mo twefa omobo no ene ye bie mu ato ho omo chitafo no betumi akọ na afi afofre ka ho no nso omo mbie mu apono nto honom na omo chitafo no ntwa ticket enko wura mu na mum covid nhyehyɛ no obi bia bedi so na asan boye ho ban wo yade no ho.
Okay, now I don't hear the National Sports Authority the atumo ka shane so na nyuma UEFA Champions League ejinemo the big game Atletico Madrid and Manchester United at Wanda Metropolitano 8 p.m. na bass live commentary about Adom FM ne Asempa FM so copy we share FM so ejinemo den pa yenyina so na yemfansi Sergio Manucho and the producer GTP New Style and the fragment ma na nyuma kai kejuana kasani Eric Asiedu Bwedi
yebeji ye ni we nyidije mu ensemu na nso kase no ye de ebesi ase wa wo fia wo hye bi ma me don hye me da se Erade enhyira Regis Fashion en mata de kam opam ya me de kenkan kase yi e de ma me din e de akuya e chan oyi akwai